In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Face in your face. Face in your face.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negro. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions. But not everyone uses logic, so for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. I also need to let everybody know that the subscriber mode has been enabled for the first 5 minutes. What does that mean? That means if you're not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you will need to be a subscriber for at least 5 minutes. Okay? So I decided to enable the subscriber mode again. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who've already subscribed to the channel. Whether you have been there from day one or just recently joined, I really appreciate all the love and all the warmth that you've given me. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media, particularly when it comes to Instagram and TikTok. Your continued support really touches my heart. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices and all those who watch from the clouds, including the haters, which are really secret fans. So, what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. If you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and set the bell notifications to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. I also have another channel, not as well known, which is called Latina Diaspora. Okay, where I'll be talking about issues pertaining to Latinos, particularly Latinos born and raised in the United States. Okay, so I ask you to check out. Good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. So the topic of tonight is the false narrative. Okay, so yeah. By the way, Irby, did you catch Multi's live earlier today? Okay, I think she did bring us some interesting points. Okay, um, I also had the pleasure of sharing it on my community tab. Okay. So before we get into the main topic, we're going to have another episode of In My Words. Now, earlier today, our dear friend Multi had an interesting live regarding fathers. So I'm going to ask you, if you have not done so, please check it on the playback. But one of the things that she mentioned at the beginning has to do with support. Okay. And the reason why, first of all of us are small YouTube creators. Okay. And and the thing is, it is time consuming to be producing content as far as getting the research together, as far as getting the material, and also reaching out as far as any special guests needed to discuss the issue. Okay, I don't know why. Okay, I don't know why. Um, I'll I'll reach out to Gigi and to let Multi know. I don't know why that was the case, but one of the main things that Multi stated was that, look, if you really want to show support for a YouTube creator, it's always a great thing just to hit the like button, say it, share, comment, and share it on your community tab. Okay, just let them know that that you appreciate it. Okay, it doesn't cost you anything, but one thing is the creators do appreciate it when they produce content and then have someone share in a community tab. Now, one thing I always try to do, okay, um, whenever Gigi or Multi comes on, um, actually any of the YouTube creators that I support in general, whenever I can, I try to share it and put it on the community tab, put a comment, talk about it, and also here uh, on this platform, give a shout out to any of the YouTube creators that appear in the chat, okay? Because we do need to support each other. Yeah, you know what? If they want to hit the Cash App, that's great. I'm not making it mandatory, but if you do feel inclined to do so, my Cash App is $ cute1ny. Okay. If any one of you feel generous and hit me up with a donation, my Cash App, I really would appreciate it. Okay. It's not necessary. Okay. Because we don't know what people's financial situation is, but hey, if you feel inclined, it doesn't hurt. So for that reason, if you see someone's content, you see it on a regular basis, and you enjoy the content, I mean, by all means, show you some love. Hit, leave a comment, share it on your community tab and things of that nature. Okay, and it's reciprocal. Okay, most of the most of, of the other YouTube creators, once they see that you are sharing in a community tab, they will reciprocate. Okay, and it's just let them know that you appreciate their content. Okay, now throughout this month of May, I'm going to be continuing to talk about mental health issues. One of the mental health issues which I'm going to be addressing as well is called obsession. And what it is when you have a certain individuals that constantly thinking about certain people. Okay, certain people all the time, and it's like every time you see them, they always mention something. Yeah, hit the like, please. The fact of the matter is, you have certain people that devote the entire content regarding what one person's doing or what have you. Okay. I mean, it's one thing to make a comment here and there. It's one thing to discuss it briefly. But when you're going back and forth all the time talking about the same person and saying the same narratives day in, day out, it becomes an obsession. So that's something I'm really going to be discussing. Okay. And I really will look forward to all of you stopping by. Of course, I love it when you come to my streams, but particularly, yeah. You know what? Look, I'm not going to mention any names because first of all, I don't want to highlight anyone. Number one, number two, when you do it, basically all you're just doing is just inviting them to you know to to create fatal attraction vibes and things of that nature. But the fact of the matter is, we do have certain individuals that constantly talk about the same people day in, day out, and after a while, it gets to be kind of boring, and it gets to be kind of stock, stockish. Okay, and also tonight I'll be talking about false narratives because it seems like here in these YouTube streets we have a lot of people creating false narratives, which is why I'm going to be discussing it tonight. Okay, but in any case, let us, without any delay, get to the main topic. So, the topic for tonight is the false narrative. And some of you might be wondering, what is a false narrative? Simple. It's when you have a person or a group of people that kind of creates a false image regarding a particular person or individuals, okay, for reasons sometimes unknown to them, okay, or it could be because they're trying to paint people in a negative life, okay. And we see this a lot, particularly now in these YouTube streets, okay. It seems like the time of quietness is over and it's things are starting to heat up again with certain individuals. Okay. Now, of course, I'm not going to mention anyone specific, and there's a reason why I'm not going to do that. First of all, I don't want to give them any shine. Number one. Number two, some of these people think false narratives in order to create attention for themselves. Also, you have certain individuals that have beefs with other people. So what they do is they try to create false narratives. This is basically for for new people who are coming into the scene in an attempt to to paint these individuals in a negative light. Okay. And I've seen it quite a bit with these YouTube streets. Okay. Um, and it seems like it's the same parties over and over again. Okay. And usually what happens is you have certain individuals that have beefs with other people. Okay. Now, the mature thing to do is this: when you have a beef with someone, whatever it is, if you can, you try to discuss it with the person, preferably in private. Okay. Why I say that? Because basically, it's an environment where people can express what they feel, express what they say, um, without comments from the peanut gallery. Yeah, that's true. Okay. And of course, that is assuming that both parties want to resolve issues. Okay. Now, if for whatever reason people don't want to resolve issues, okay, then the best thing for you to do is both go your separate ways. Don't have any interaction with that person. Okay. Just continue to live your life as you see fit, without you having any contact with with the other individual. That would be the mature thing to do. Okay. Unfortunately, we see this, and again, we see this again with certain individuals who, for whatever fluffing reason, are not able to just simply go their separate ways, and they have to create a narrative in order to try to scare off new people from not approaching them. Okay. And this is what I believe. Okay. And I see we also have Moon Chaser. Good evening. Okay. Thank you very much for stopping by. Now, let me just say, first of all, thank you because it's been a long time that you've been on this platform. First of all, let me just encourage everyone that my friend Moon Chaser has his own channel. So I'm going to ask that if you can, please show some love to him. Check out his content and subscribe. And I see we also have Titi Juju. Long time no see. Thank you very much for stopping by. And also, I will ask you to do the same thing with Titi Juju. She has her content. And I know that she does put some content now and then. So I'm gonna ask you to show some love to her as well. Um, she's from Texas, and subscribe to her channel and check out her content, things of that nature. Okay, but okay. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna go there. Okay, everyone. Okay, everyone. Polices their content. Okay. I say I was talking about where you are living now. I know you're from the Bronx, so I stand corrected. Okay. But getting back to what I'm talking about. You have some people who they can't let go. Okay. You have certain people who have to like stir up the storm, stir up the storm and what have you. Okay, and create a false image to try to make that person look bad. Okay, and this is the thing that I try to bear in mind, which is the following: I don't make my assessments based on what someone says. I base my assessment based on what I see and what I hear. That is how I base my assessment. Okay? Because people can say whatever they want when it comes to Moon Chaser. People can say whatever they want with DT Juju. People can say what they want with Herbie or anybody else. Okay. I would rather listen and observe their content. And then if I'm gonna make a judgment, it's gonna be based on what I see and what I hear. It's not gonna be based on what so and so says. Okay? Because look, anyone, and I see we also have Gigi in the chat. Good evening, Gigi. Thank you very much for stopping by. And before I forget, let me just state for the fact that my friend Gigi also has her channels, and I'm gonna ask you, show some love to her and subscribe to the channel, and she also have a membership. So if you want to get some private content, please subscribe as well. I don't know if Moon Chaser you have a membership. If you do, I encourage people to do so. And I see we also have Georgia in the chat. Good evening, Georgia. Thank you very much for stopping by. The topic for tonight is the false narrative. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm discussing this topic is because people, and I mean people, love to create false narratives regarding certain individuals. Okay. We see this all the freaking time. Okay. And usually what it is that you have certain people that we have beefs, that have beefs with certain people. So instead of just like, trying to resolve it or just separate yourself, they just want to go on and, just, create false narratives and talking about, how certain people are. Okay. And we see it all the time when we have certain people that get called everything but a child of God. Okay. Yes. So I hope everyone is hitting the like button. I mean, look, there have been people that paint false narratives about me. Okay. What some of the false narratives that people talk about me is that I'm an old, senile, lonely white guy. First of all, I'm not white, I'm Latino. Number one. Oh, yes, I'm 61 years old, so hey, that's what it is. It is what it is. Okay. Number one. Number two, I'm not lonely. Okay. I have a lot of people who love me and support me. Okay. And those that don't, it's not my issue. It is their issue. It is not my issue. And I'm definitely not senile. Okay. Another narrative that people love to, well, actually, one or two individuals stated that I was racist. First of all, that's ridiculous because anybody and everybody is welcome on my platform. Okay. And I don't have a lot of rules here. The only thing I ask is let's be mutually respectable when we interact with each other, and let's respect everyone's point of view. That's all, okay? And I don't censor people here. Everyone, well, you know what, Munchester, you know what? That's your point of view. I respect it. But look, the thing is this. Everyone is walking here, so I'm not racist. And if you take a look at my mods, it's like basically it's a little bit of everybody, okay? Okay. Now another narrative. Now you're not going to believe this, folks. You're not going to believe this, folks. Now, those of you, I say this all the time. If you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. Okay? Would you believe one individual actually referred to me like to Hitler just for saying that? I mean, really? Hitler? I think that person was hitting the local weed a little bit. Or I don't know, maybe that person needs to be placed in an involuntary 72-hour period with a straitjacket and a rubber room. I mean, look, Look, the fact that look, I get it. People, not everyone is enamored with me. People that that can't stand me. You know what? That's your problem, not mine. Okay. Look, I'm just simply trying to be the best version of myself. Okay. That's all I'm trying to do. To be the best version of myself. Okay. Am I perfect? No. Okay. Have I made mistakes? Oh yeah, I made some big ones. Okay. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, Moonchase. But you know what? Look, the fact of the matter is, the haters have had. This is the issue that the haters have with me. A little bit has to do with my content. Now I get it. My content may not be everyone's cup of tea. To some people, I'm a little bit too, you know, intellectual or whatever. I get it. And you know what? I'm not taking a gun to your head to watch my content. I mean, look, there's literally, and I mean it, literally millions of creators out in these YouTube streets. If I'm not your fancy, then go somewhere where you can find something that you like. Now, the other big problem is that people have beefs with me. Why? Because of the people that I choose to hang with. Okay? Now I get it. No, I get it. Certain people have certain beefs with certain people. I get it. Okay. Look, let me tell you something. And I say it all the time. At my age, I suffer from a disease called I don't care itis. Okay? And you know why I don't care itis? Because the fact of the matter is, those haters, they're not in my life. I'm never gonna meet up with them. I have no desire to meet up with them. Okay. Thank you. That's not allowed. This is what I love to see. Exactly. Did you do? You're making my point for me. Okay. Look, I'm a 61-year-old man just trying to create positive content. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do. Okay. And look, and I get it. I get it. Not everyone is going to be enamored with my content. You know what? I can't be worried about that. I have to be me. Okay. I'm not going to be anybody else but me. Okay. And if you cannot deal with me, you know what? There's the door. Just don't let the door just don't let the door hit you or split you. That's all I'm going to say on that. Okay. But I see this also in many sectors where you have certain individuals that create all sorts of false narratives. Okay. And one thing I'm going to say this, and I think everyone that's in the chat can agree with me. I think everyone had said false narratives regarding everyone that's in the chat. Whether it be DT Juju, whether it be Moon Chaser, whether it be Georgia, whether it be Golden Goddess, whether it be Irby, whomever. Okay. And that's what I do. That's what I do every week. Every week, without fail, I produce content. Okay. There are some weeks that people are like it's like there's a lot of activity in the chat. People wanted that. come in a panel and express their point of view. And then I have weeks where basically hardly anyone gets in the chat and no one really, you know, enter any comments. But the fact of the matter is, and this is something that I've always said before, and I'm going to continue to say it again. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. Okay. And there's going to be weeks when things are going to be popping, and then there's going to be weeks when things are more deader than a cemetery. Okay, but just because I have a couple of dry days or a couple of dry weeks doesn't mean I'm not going to keep trying. Okay, but okay, you know what? Let me tell you something. I don't. You know what? I haven't seen too much of Bloodroom. To be perfectly honest, I haven't seen too much of Bloodroom lately. Now I know that she kind of avoids this platform, but you know what? I get it. I'm not exactly a cup of tea. You know, whatever. No skin off my nose. Okay, but I'm sure Moon Chaser, when she produces some content, do a couple of lives, I'm sure she'll hop on and express her point of view, her unique point of view, so to speak. Okay, but you know something? There's been a lot. There's been a lot of YouTube creators that have been MIA here in these YouTube streams. Okay, and I get it. I mean, look, people have lives. Okay. Okay, well, you know what? She can hop on. She can hop on, and I'm sure she'll give her unique perspective, so to speak. But look, people will always create false narratives regarding certain individuals. Okay, that's the fact. Okay, and look, and I see here we also have Don Armando in the chat. Good evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. And of course, he has his channels. So I'm going to ask you to show some love to him and support his content. So for the benefit of those who are watching now, the topic for tonight is the false narrative. Look. And again, let me make this perfectly clear. Everyone, I can say this without hesitation. Everyone that's been on the chat, someone has created some sort of false narrative, okay? And look, and one thing, and I said this before, and I'm going to say it again, okay? Sorry about that. But look, the fact of the matter is this. Yeah, you know what? This is, I think, look, the best thing to deal with people who create false narratives is to ignore them. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we do. One of these days. When I don't know. We do need to link up. But look, the bottom line is this. The best way to deal with someone that's creating false narratives is to ignore them. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's the bottom line. And let me tell you why. Because when you engage with these individuals, what happens is it's like you're egging them on. It's like you're encouraging them to continue um, with their stupidity. Okay, and that's what it is, stupidity, because people have nothing better to do with their lives but to create false narratives. Okay, okay, all right. I mean, look, that's the reality, folks. That's the reality. And no matter what you say, they're going to continue to paint a false narrative. So the best thing to do is ignore them. Ignore them. Okay. And if they create content talking about you, talking about how you're everything but a child of God, you know what? Just simply say, bless their hearts. Okay. There have been people that have taken shots at me, um, creating videos of things of that nature. There have been people that have been taking my content, you know, without my permission. Basically, just to use it is to attack me and to attack certain YouTube creators. No, I mean that's the reality. Okay, I mean because look, the reality with these YouTube streets is that you have people that have issues. Okay, you have people that need therapy. Okay, and this is something that I've said before, and I'm going to say it again. If it was left up to me, everyone that's thinking about creating a channel will need to undergo a psychological evaluation. And if, exactly, ignore them. Yeah. Because first of all, by you engaging with these individuals, all you're doing is you giving them more percent and letting them know that they're getting that they are getting at you. Okay, and I've seen this back and forth, back and forth. Okay, and it's usually the same individuals who got nothing better to do but to create false narratives regarding certain people. Okay, like for example, they'll talk about a person's criminal record. Okay, or they talk about how this female, a YouTube creator, is a baby mama, has a bunch of baby daddies, and things of that nature. Okay. Well, thank you, Moonchaser, for stopping by, and take care. You're always welcome to cop on whenever you're able. But look, the fact of the matter is this: you have the same individuals, and this is more directed towards the female creators that love to talk about how they're baby mamas and how they're violent and things of that nature. Um, okay, why? Because sometimes they're just trying to create content, okay, for their channels, okay, which is why, okay, and I know, okay, I'm gonna toot my home a little bit, okay, which is why I'm happy with my content, okay. I'm approaching 400 subs and 95,000 views, okay, and it's all positive content. That's the beauty part. That is the beauty part. Okay, and even if you take away whatever reaction videos that I've done, 90 to 95% of my content is still intact, which tells you something. And here I actually talk about issues. Okay. And sometimes I'll just, talk about random stuff. Other times I will just like share humorous moments because you know why? Because you do have to mix it up a little bit. You can't be serious all the time. Yes, that's true. That is very true. Yes. And that's why that's why I refer okay, that's why I refer to those individuals as a collective, which are known as the mentally and intellectually challenged, or the mix, as I like to call them. Okay, because they are mentally and intellectually challenged because they cannot engage in a mature debates. They have to get emotional. They have to go gutter. They have to go ratchet and things of that nature because they cannot discuss anything with any sense of intelligence. And of course, I also refer to them as the circus because you have these individuals that act like a bunch of clowns. That's the reality. Okay. Because you know why? Because they cannot argue any facts. They cannot argue reasonably. All they're gonna do is get emotional, and and it's nothing worse than a dude trying to act, irrational, feminine, and things of that nature. Okay, there's nothing so unattractive as that. Okay, but unfortunately, you do have these people that do not cannot engage with any sense of intelligence. Okay, and at this point, I refuse to do so. Okay, let's see. You know what? For me to do okay, the thing is for me to do a live on Kendrick versus Drake. First of all, I will have to like study what's about and what's the issue is, and I think at this point everyone has done that. Okay, so I don't know. I might. Let's see here. You know what? That is true, Georgia. That is true. And look, that's I'm gonna keep it real. Every okay. Those of you who know me and know who I am, that I am a Christian. Okay, this is not a Christian channel. Okay, but the host is a Christian, so therefore, I'm going to try to keep the content positive. Okay, and to be perfectly honest, even if I wanted to, I wouldn't even know how to go ratchet. Let's keep it real. Okay, and I'd rather be myself. Okay, I'd rather be myself than try to be something that I'm not. Okay, because the bottom line is people are not going to support fake people. Okay. Look, let me tell you something. It's one thing to say that you believe in God. Okay. It's another thing that does your life reflect it. Okay. Now I'm not meaning that you have to recite Bible verses all day and things of that nature. Yeah. Okay. Look, I know. You know what it is. We're living in an age that people take God's name and make and trivialize it. Okay. That's no. That's no. That's the society where we're living in today. Okay. And again, look, I don't censor people here. I won't censor people here, but I do expect if I give you the freedom to express yourself as you see fit, that you reciprocate with me. If you're not able to do that, I see we're gonna have to part ways. Now I see that I have a guest, so before I bring in my guest, we all know how we do things here. The views of those who appear on the panel are not necessarily those of the host and the channel. Any attempt to copy material without the consent of the host is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to your image. Some of the views that people hold may be considered offensive to some viewers. If you do not like the content, you can block the channel. And now we're going to bring in my guest. Good evening, George.
Hey, Jose. So I'm actually just going to stay on for probably like 2 minutes or even less still. But no, I just wanted to get on here, though, just to, finish off my point. Because like over the years, I've just always noticed that people always want to use like God's name and say that, oh, God's working against you. Oh, this is why God's doing this. Oh, God, this, God, that. I'm like, okay, people, you guys need to really keep your mouths shut. Because just because you may know of God, that does not mean that you know him personally, though. Because for first and foremost, it's all about forming a deep personal relationship with him, getting into the word, and really, really absorbing the word, though, because if you do, your heart is really going to start to transform as time goes on by. But for people who are saying that, oh, God's working against you, la di da di da, until he kind of corrects and rebukes you on some stuff, you're going to see that you are just as problematic, if not worse. Like, dude, like Jose, I'm tired of the blasphemy, and I'm just tired of just people just saying his name in vain. Like, so for people who say his name vainly, you just need to know this: God actually does not want your fellowship if he sees that you're just using his name out of convenience purposes. You need to come to him with like a strong, repentant, contrite, and changed heart. And then over time, he'll work on you. I think a lot of the people that you've been talking about, Jose, as far as those who want to like create false narratives or whatever, I think they need to have an epiphany probably right now, and they're going to seriously see what's up with them. But watch how they're going to probably crap themselves. Probably not, because they just want to do it and use it for convenience purposes. Stuff like that needs to be called out. So for people who do that, keep your mouth shut. Okay?
Well, Georgia, let's keep it real, okay? We understand this because we're spiritually alive through the mercy of God. Unfortunately, there are many people are spiritually dead. Okay. And I use this analogy and I think it's appropriate. It's like you try to speak Spanish to someone that understands Japanese.
Yeah, how's that going to work?
Okay. Well, the reality, look, we have to deal with the reality that people that before you're born again, you're spiritually dead. And as a result of being spiritually dead, you're going to say things, you're going to do things that are contrary to what we know that's written in the Bible. Until that day that they do have an epiphany, an awakening, and realize that only God can transform their lives.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you really like look into like the book of Deuteronomy, Moses clearly says that if the Israelites, no, what is it pronounced? Oh yeah, Israelites, really want to like, become, self-improved folks, then they would actually have to allow God to circumcise their hearts. That's actually in Deuteronomy. People, check it out. Only if you are open. But honestly, it's at a point where, you know what? it's now time to call people out. It's now time for the nonsense to stop. And at a certain point, Jose, enough is enough. So, like, since you're talking about how, hey, people who paint false narratives, but at the same time, they still want to use God's name. So, we'll keep this in mind. The lying or the spreading of false narratives or slander, all that stuff are sins, by the way, just as bad. But you see, watch how people are going to use a situation like that just for convenience purposes. Calling you an old senile man, calling me a school shooter or mass shooter, whatever that is, or going after other people's family members, or let's see what else, just a bunch of other crazy stuff, or saying that I'm using religion to go down to a place like New Orleans, where that other content creator lives, to sleep with her, or down to Florida to sleep with you know who. There you go. That's gossip. And that's also some falsehoods. I laugh at it. I don't really care. But if people are going to use God and say that God's working against me or whatever else, well, from a biblical standpoint, God actually says, well, take the plank out of your eye and just see yourself for who you are. Okay? Because you, me, it's already done. We're moving forward. And speaking about you gaining some more subscribers, look at my subscription account. Look at my German Shepherd's videos. I actually have more of the animal-loving community who is also following me too. And I just shared a picture of my niece who is coming over. So we're all getting better here. So I'm just going to be just a voice of inspiration to others, for them to likewise self-improve and stop spreading false narratives, all because they may have some deep-seated issues going on within them to where they're now taking it out on everybody else externally. Enough's enough. And if you're going to use God, or people are going to use God, just remember what I said. Just take the plank out of your own eye and see yourself for who you are before you are so quick to finger point or scapegoat others. But Jose, I'll see you down in the chat. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much for stopping by.
Oh, I'll still listen, but
Okay.
time to call it out. All right.
Okay. But look, and let me tell you something. One thing, when this is one thing I do. I would rather address an individual in private, okay, here, instead of doing it in public. Good evening, Keisha. Thank you very much for stopping by. And just want to let everybody know that Dreadlock Diaries, I'm sorry, man, I'm having a tongue twister, has her channel where she talks about locks and proper hair care. That's that you have not done so. Please check out her content, show some love and support. She's really done a great deal of content. And look, another problem that here is that whenever there is arguments and beefs and things like that, the mature thing to do is have a private discussion with the individual, see that you can try to reconcile and deal with the issues in hand. And if you can't, then just go your separate ways. By the way, I believe tomorrow, Keisha, is your birthday. So happy birthday to you. May the good Lord give you many years of health and long life. Okay. And look, and to be perfectly honest, I even I even forgave my ex-wife for her part of the difficulties that we have had in our marriage, okay? And it was unfortunate that the marriage ended in divorce and things of that nature. And one thing I always said it before, that we were both responsible. Okay, I never placed all the guilt on my ex-wife's lap. Okay, we were both guilty, and we actually had a private discussion, and we were able to be cordial with each other. Okay, which is okay, which is the mature thing to do. Whenever you have any differences, try to resolve them, okay, one on one, preferably in private, okay. I really don't care too much to resolve issues here on any platform because, first of all, what happens is you have people that will try to egg people, on, okay, egg people on and things of that nature. So, okay. Look, so so I was, and I, and I, I'm at a state where with me and my ex-wife, we could have a cordial discussion. Um, Also, I also forgiven another ex that actually broke my heart, okay, and led me to have um, thoughts of self-deletion. But it's just that you cannot harbor beefs, okay? Because what it does is, first of all, it makes you ill mentally, it makes you ill spiritually, and you're blocking blessings from God whenever you hold a grudge. And basically, you're not penalizing uh, the person that actually did what they did or said what they said. Basically, what you're doing is you're harming yourself. Okay. And again, and I think people, we need to understand that forgiveness does not mean restoration. Okay. What that means is that you're at the stage of life where whatever the person did, whatever the person said, by you bringing it to memory, doesn't cause you pain. It doesn't cause you to get upset. It doesn't cause you to lose sleep. Okay, that is the difference. Okay, and you can forgive a person and not necessarily have fellowship. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Okay. But getting back, the like I said before, the best way to deal with the narratives is don't engage. Okay. There's a time when you do have to. Okay. There's a time when you do have to call it out. But after that, just don't have any interaction with that person. Okay, don't speak to that person, don't respond to that person. I mean, because all you're doing is you just feeding into it, and then you're just letting them know that you are affected by their narratives. Okay, now I have been talking for an hour, so if anybody else wishes to join the panel, and express your point of view, you're more than welcome to do so. Yeah, you know what? I don't have, okay, I have certain. Okay, I don't have a lot of people that's been banned permanently from this platform. Okay, but the people who've been banned, it's because of their conduct. Okay, okay. One is the fact that they dox other people, and they make false accusations of child abuse and things of that nature. Okay, and the other one permanently banned because basically that person had been very disrespectful towards me on my own platform. Okay, if you're going to disrespect me, guess what? You're not going to be welcome again. Okay, and you can beg and plead all you want. The bottom line is this: um, once you've been banned, you remain banned. Okay, I don't hold a grudge against anybody. I don't wish anyone any ill will, but I am not going to allow individuals that's going to try to disrupt this platform, show disrespect towards me, or show disrespect towards anyone that's on this panel or on the chat. Okay, those are my rules. If you can't deal with it, there's the door. Okay. But I do appreciate the interaction. Okay. 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 Let me just explain. Okay. Okay. You may not know, Kesha, what's going on, but one of the issues that's been happening here, and not just now, but it's been going off and on here in these YouTube streets, is that you have certain individuals that create false narratives regarding certain people for multiple reasons. Okay. Part of it is for clout. Part of it is to try to create a static. Part of it. Unfortunately, it's the same old beefs. Okay, it's the same old beefs, and people just go on saying whatever, and that certain people have been called every name conceivable other than child of God. Okay, and I was so simply sharing with with those who were willing to listen, that people are going to create false narratives, and you can call them off call them off on it one time, but after a while it gets to the point that the best thing to do is just to ignore them, because basically all you're doing is you create is you letting them know that they can get to you. Okay, that you get into your skin. Okay, and that they can push your buttons. That's all it is. um and it's look it's always it's always going to be that way. Okay, as long as you have certain individuals where that create false narratives. I mean, oh, good evening, Luca. I see it's been a long time since you've been here. Thank you very much for stopping by. look, the topic for tonight is the false narrative. And again, the fact of the matter is you have the same people who are guilty of spreading false information, false narratives regarding certain individuals in these YouTube streets. Okay. And not only that, I think it's also happening in other platforms, whether it be TikTok, whether it be Instagram, whether it be any sort of social media platform. I mean, that is the reality. Okay, there's really nothing. Okay, I mean that's something that has gone on for a long time. It's got unfortunately it's going to continue to go on. You just have to learn how to deal with these individuals. Okay, so now again, the link has been pinned. If anyone wishes to hit the link and express their point of view, by all means they can do so. Okay, I, let me make this perfectly clear. If I have never seen you before anywhere, if when you get on the backstage, I'm going to insist that you pan up to make sure that you don't show anything inappropriate. Yeah, yeah. Well, it is what it is. Now take a look at this comment. Basically, you have Jose being called Hitler love and Georgia being called someone who should be committed with murder because in dabbling with. Look, let me tell you something. And this is something, look, we all have a past, okay? But it's called a past. And there's a reason why it's called past because we're not living in the past, we're living in the present, okay? And the reality is this, okay? For whatever that you did in the past, okay, if you're not doing it now, that's fine, okay. But it's like, unfortunately, it's it's people's attempt just to call anyone and everyone everything but a child of God. Okay, yeah, but it is what it is. Look, and let me tell you something. Another thing to bear in mind: be very careful when you make accusations. Okay, if you're gonna if okay, before you make any accusations, make sure that you have your facts. Okay, make sure that you have your facts. And if you don't know what's going on, then you know what? Just don't say anything and don't repeat it. Okay, just study the situation before you say anything. Because unfortunately, we have some people here in these YouTube streets. Their brains is on neutral and their mouth is in first gear. Okay. Now, basically, let me explain to you what I mean by that. That's referring to people who talk before they think. Okay, and again, we have a lot of people here in these YouTube streets that do that. They talk about stuff that they don't know anything about, and this is basically based on what someone said about somebody else. Okay, that's all it is. And it's very easy to be a sheep and just repeat what other people are saying. Okay. It's another thing when you actually decide to think for yourself and research for yourself before you arrive at a conclusion. That's the difference. Okay. But again, that requires integrity. That requires intelligence. Okay. Okay, so look, that's all it is. And again, I decided to discuss this topic because guess what? Things are starting to get hot in these YouTube streets, and it's basically the same old gripes acting up again. Why? Because people are not able to get past whatever and just go their separate ways and go their separate corners. Okay. But this whole business of this whole business with the false narratives and calling people baby mamas and accusations of uh, being a pedo and what have you. Okay, they're just stupid opinions. Okay, that and 295 will get 275 will get you a ride up. 290 will get you a ride on the subway. Okay. You know what? Look, let me tell you something. With the exception of the new people that come on these YouTube streets, everybody knows regarding everybody else. Okay, everyone knows how everyone else functions. Okay, and one thing we have to bear in mind: a bad tree cannot produce good fruit. Okay, an apple tree does not produce oranges. A banana bush does not produce strawberries and things of that nature. Okay, what you sow is what you will reap. Okay. Look, and let me tell you something. I have met some great biracial people here in these YouTube streets. Okay. People like Gigi, Multi, yeah, Luca, Irby, Georgia, AMR, um, and everybody else. I mean, and let me tell you something. And when it comes to libel, um, you have to prove that what they said has hurt you, okay, and has tarnished your reputation. So it could be kind of hard. Okay, I'm not saying don't go after people who spread libel, but just bear in mind the proof libel exists. It's something that you're going to need to have evidence. Okay, just. Oh, yeah, oh, that's right, Hazel. Also, I mean, we haven't seen Hazel too much in this YouTube streets. I guess she's been very busy with her life. I mean, she's married, she has children, so people are very people are busy. Okay, so in any case, just, so excuse me. Now, before I wrap this, excuse me. Yes. Yeah, you know what? I miss Hazel too. I miss Hazel too. But I hope that she's doing well. Okay. I hope she's doing well. But my next stream is going to be on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay. The person that claimed to be that claimed that I'm Hitler is someone that is not mentally well. Okay. If okay, I would mention it here. It's just that I don't want to like highlight um the, the certain individuals. This is something that I would discuss. Discuss in the backstage. If we have people in the backstage, I will share with them who they are. Look, I will say this much regarding the person that he is a pathetic individual and a lonely individual on top of that has very few friends. Okay, that goes out of his way to denigrate women. That goes out of his way that simply stating that women that voice an opinion are masculine, feminine, masculine women, or lesbians. Good evening, April Charles. Thank you very much for stopping by. And I'm going to just let everybody know that she also have a channel that she produces content. So I'm going to ask that you have not done so. Please check out her content. But look, the bottom line is this. This individual has issues, and basically anyone that tried to be a friend to this individual in question have the pot company, okay, because of their conduct and the lack of respect towards women, the lack of respect towards men, and the lack of respect regarding certain individuals. So, I mean, it is what it is. And that person, you know what? I don't wish that person ill will, but I don't need to be around that person either. Okay, let's not trivialize this, okay, Don Armando. But look, when everything is said and done, the people who rock with me know what type of person I am. Okay. And when everything is said and done, I'm answerable to myself and to God. Okay. I am not answerable. I don't answer to anybody else. Okay. I answer to a Jewish carpenter named Jesus of Nazareth, who died on the cross for my sins. None of these haters died on the cross for me. Okay. Okay. I have never had the opportunity to speak with Crow Chief. I don't have an issue with him. I know that he is Creole. I know he's a younger content creator. Um, if I had an issue, if I had an issue with him, I would be the first one to acknowledge it and say, you know what, I apologize. Okay, I have never had an issue with it. I never said anything negative towards him. Okay, and don't intend to do so, and I won't. I see his content. Um, some of them I agree, some of them I disagree. But he has the right to create his content as he sees fit. He has the right to. He has the right to police his content as he sees fit. Okay, and the same thing applies with everyone. Okay, what I am not going to, when I'm not going to tolerate is when people that don't know me or don't support me try to tell me how to police my content. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, and that's another thing. He's also been subject to false narratives. Okay, and I'm not going to repeat um, the false narratives that have been directed towards him. Okay, first of all, because I don't believe any of the narratives apply to him at all. Okay, do I? And again, do I agree with everything he everything that he talks about? No. Does he have a right to air his point of view? Yes. Okay. And he has a right to associate with whoever he wishes to associate with. Okay. Look, I am aware, the issues between those two. Um, I don't get involved um, with those issues. Okay. Really? Okay. This is the thing. I don't believe in. I don't get involved with beefs with other people. They can go. They can go on and they can have at it on their own platforms. Okay. However, when it comes to my platform, I insist. Please do not bring your beefs here. Okay. First of all, I don't feel like I have to. I don't feel like I have to play referee on my own platform. Number one. Number two, if I have to silence people, I'm going to silence people. If I have to block people, I'm going to block people. Okay. Okay. Have a good night. Thank you very much for stopping by, Luca. But look, and again, the reason why I've chosen not to get involved with other people's beefs, because what happened is it gets messier. Okay. It gets messier, and I really don't need that. Okay. Particularly at the stage of life I am. Look, I am approaching my sunset years. Number one. Number two, I'm also preparing for surgery, so I'm gonna be out of work for a length of time. So I don't wish to engage in any negativity. I don't wish to get involved with um, any static. I mean, my thing is, you know, do whatever you want to do. Just don't. Good night. Good night, Keisha. Just don't bring your stupidity to my platform. Okay, that's all I ask. Well, in any case, this has been a very good stream. Okay. Let's see what else. Oops. Look, let me tell you something. As a person that lost both my parents, okay, I'm still okay. I still have not fully recovered their losses. Okay, that's something that you learn to you learn to deal with. No, I will. No problem. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, I mean, look, the bottom line is this. Okay. And again, if you want to go on and beef and act stupid and go on and paint whatever narratives that you have about me or anybody else, fine. Just don't bring the stupidity to my platform. I have no time for it. I did not have the time for it when I was younger. I definitely don't have the time for it now. Okay. I'm trying to keep myself as stress free and drama free as possible. Okay. So that being said, I will be live Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. It's going to be open discussion, but it's going to be open discussion on my other channel, which is Latina Diaspora. Okay. And the next time I'm going to be live on this platform will be Friday at 9:30. And I'm going to be talking about the obsession. Okay. So if you really want to find out what that is about, then I would encourage you to catch it on Friday night at 9:30. So this week it's a little different. Usually I'll go live 4 times a week. This week I'm just going to do it 3 times, okay? Because it does take it does take a great deal of time and energy to produce content when you do it more than once on a regular basis. Okay. And I just needed, relax a little bit. So, and of course, as always, a huge shout out to all those who appear in the chat. Thank you, Jar Jar, for appearing on the panel. Okay. And look, people are going to continue to paint whatever narratives that they wish. Okay. So look, the bottom line is this. Don't be concerned about what other people say about you. Just be concerned about being the best version of yourself. And remember, if they're creating false narratives about you, it's because they are jealous of you or they fear you. That's the reality. So, with that being said, I'm going to call this a night. Okay. And of course, all of you are more than welcome to opine after the stream is over and leave your comments. Just try to keep it respectable, because if you do not, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be blocked. It is that simple. So with that being said, I'm going to close the same way we always close here. We must do everything possible to reduce our presence among the mentally and intellectually challenged. Because if we fail to do that, we will be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Okay, just give me a moment because I'm having a struggle stream. So just will say good night, take care, peace, and just be the best version of yourself. Take care, peace. Oops.